this here, all right? So, and again, they're talking about the Holy Grail family. The picture that was emerging was of a group of European noble families descended from the Jewish lines of David and Aaron, who had escaped from Jerusalem shortly before, or possible even just after the fall of the temple. They had passed down the knowledge of the artifacts concealed within the temple to a chosen son of each family. Some of the families involved were the Counts of Champagne, Lords of Guisers, Lords of Payen, Counts of Fontaine, Counts of Anjou, de Bouillon, St. Clairs of Roslin, Brienne, Joinville, Chaumont, St. Clair, de Gizer, St. Clair de Neg, and the Habsburgs. By 1095, the members of Rex Deuce families groups were almost certainly fully Christianized, yet each of them must have had at least one male member who held the traditional history of their high-born Jewish roots close to their heart. No doubt they saw themselves as super Christians, descendants of the very first church, and privy to the greatest secrets this side of heaven. They were a silent elite, the kings of God. And I named them in this video right here. The Order of the Fleur de Lis and the Priory of Sion, Rex Deuce, the Holy Grail King of the Priory of Sion. Again, these are the same people that created the protocols of the Elders of Sion that Hitler found. Priory of Sion created them. All right? So keep in mind, the Priory of Sion is a much older organization. And they even explain here, they're also known as Ormus. They're the ones that get the flattards to drink their own urine. Okay? So why am I showing you this? All right, and it's important they understand it. Here they taught the Priory of Sion, the Elders of Sion, also relates to the Rothschilds, who are reported to serve on a Jewish council of the Elders of Sion. Now, this is true, and it's important that you understand that they serve on the council, but they are not of the Merovingian bloodline, and let me explain that, okay? If you do your research, and Bill Cooper talked about it as well, on Meyer Amschel Bauer or Meyer Amschel Rothschild, till the day he died, he lived in the ghettos because he was a Torah practicing Jew. Okay? The reason he was successful is because he was a fair lender and his competitors were charging high rates. So he was extremely successful. But because he was a Torah Jew that followed the Torah, he was not allowed to live outside the ghetto, no matter how, and he had a lot of money. So think about that. His children, however, joined Freemasonry. Jonathan Rothschild, who got involved in the banks and stole all that money during the Great Collapse and all that stuff, okay? He, on the other hand, and his sons joined Freemasonry and got onto the council, okay? But why? I've already showed you evidence and in videos of even Master Masons coming out and saying that it's the Jews or it's the Rothschilds and it's the Vatican, right? So they put a Jesuit in the Vatican, for example, right? Just for example, right? Just like they had a Rosicrucian Pope back in the day, right? Bill Sholin explains here. Schnobel explains there, all right? Now,